Good evening, pint size mate. Nice one for getting in the chat, because I have not a clue if this is live or not. For some reason, I can't seem to. Mechanical's saying he can see it as well, so it must be my end for some reason. So, anyway, welcome back. F2 Championship CDR round 5 takes us this week to Singapore. It's working. Nice one, Mucky mate. Yeah, it's not on my laptop, and I can't get it on my phone either. Yeah, a few quali bands. If people are watching, Harvey, Richie and Chip do not participate in qualifying. Quite a lot happened last week. Changes in the standings. Rick is still P1, but Nat, after a solid weekend, evening Harry. Nat, after a solid weekend, has closed the gap just to 6 points in P2. So, as Nat got it in him again to try and take that championship today, or the lead today, off Rick. Sure, Luke will have something to say about that. However, he did miss last week, evening Mechanical. Luke missed him last week, drops him down a few places in the standings. Very, very close championship up to now. Let me see if it's working. It wouldn't let me see anybody's reports either on YouTube. It just sent me to YouTube and nothing came up. So I wonder if it's YouTube on my device. We are having a night race this evening. The original night F1 race, Singapore. First one to host the evening race. A few more have taken that. Qatar, Abu Dhabi for the season finale in a couple of weeks' time. Who is going to get the championship? Is Lando going to take his first championship? Or can Oscar try and pull it back? Max is still in the picture as well. Let's get on to CDR though. So, championship is very tight. You got Rick and Nat at the top. Interesting weather. Ooh, Clay saying wet feature race. Who are we on board with this evening? Max Mario on the super soft tyres. Not seen them this season up to now, as he starts his lap of Singapore this evening. Turn 1, 2 and 3. You can make or break your lap in that couple of corners. Very technical street circuit this. Very safety car prone. Hopefully we're not plagued with them tonight. 3 people retiring, all serving quali bands. See where Max can put his car this evening. Harold's moved his way up into P3, taking that from Richie. After a good couple of races from Harold. P3, 4 and 5 in the championship though, only separated by 4 points. That's Harold, Fate Scouts, and Richie's dropped down to P5. As Max Barrio has invalidated his lap, let's go on board with Kane. He's also invalidated. Nerf Pack has not invalidated. We'll stay on board with him as he starts sector 2. Oh, quite a few possibly into the barriers. Captain Nibs and Airways. Just the last chicane now for Nerf Pack to negotiate. Nice, very neat and tidy. Keeps away from the wall on the exit just about. Big lift into that. Final corners, Rick takes P1 with a 38.1. Just Dave, last week's pole sitter, taking P2. I'll turn that volume down in a bit, sounded a bit loud, that car volume. Let's have a look how tight this is. Wow. Top 4 separated by less than 0.3 of a second there. Rick taking P1 with 38.1. Just Dave, just starting behind, were chasing down Rick in the championship, starting P3. Harold also there in P4. Fate Scouts to Luke. Glock, usual names at the top. All championship contenders at the moment. Got Glock in, reserving. He's had a couple of race wins. Well, he had a race win and a sprint win. And he had another win to his record tonight. Constructors standings. Rolled in P1 with 135 points. Their drivers are Rick and Rapid. Rick starting at the front, trying to extend that lead on the Tridents of Colin and Fake Scouser. Colin trying to find his second in a row with the Constructors Championship. Long way to go yet in this season 15, of course. Last week's pole sitter, Just Dave, making up 8 places in the sprints that finished P2. Have to get some overtaking done around Singapore tonight to get another result like that. Also, Fake Scouts are making moves. Last weekend, up 8 places, he finished P5. Rick had a bit of a poor qualifying last week, dragged himself up through the fields, finished P7. Great recovery drive from Rick. At the back of the pack though, this quite tasty battle, P14, 15 and 16 in the championship with Clay, Harvey and Kane, only 3 points between them 3. This point scoring system is keeping it very tight throughout the field. Can Clay pull another strategy masterclass with the opposite strat on the tyres again this evening in the sprint? Might not have that luxury in the feature race if it is going to be wet. So look at the tyres. I think everyone will be on the softs, to be fair. 4 drivers this evening going for the super softs with Harold, Just Dave, Nerf Pack and Rick have touched. That has sent them to the grid. Clay, usual suspect on the opposite strategy, also on the super softs and Airways. Yet to score a point Airways this season. Sure, he can get that change tonight. Car's looking nice under them lights this evening. Be nice if every race was raced at night. Just adds that bit more effect to it, really, I think. So, qualifying 10th is Wookie. On Sunday, Tier 3 taking a sprint win and a feature race win in Brazil. That does his Tier 3 championship wonders there. See if he can bring that form into the Formula 2 category. Got very quick guy, Rapid behind though. Goes with the name. He is very rapid indeed. Mechanical, also very consistent. Can he also put a challenge in on the front too? We know Glock's got some pace. It's just how is overtaking going to be around here this evening. Oh, someone clattering the barrier there. Is that Wookie? Just turn that. There we go. Oof. Rapid trying to avoid all the guys on the grid there. You're never too sure if they're going to ghost or not. It's not the ideal way to approach a grid spot. Does take that place nicely though. Max Barrio as well, disqualified, not catching his marks properly. As we get underway this evening for round 5 of CDR's Formula 2 Championship. Lights are held for quite a while there. Wookie looks like he got a good start. Rapid, quite slow start compared to Mechanical, who is staying behind. He's a lot closer to Mechanical than he is to Wookie out in front. Got 3 wide of just Dave, Wirt and Fake Scouser. Everyone making it through okay. Oh, that's just Dave dropping back. Northern Nat making the move. Rick's dropping places. Rick is down in P14 at the moment. Disastrous start for Rick. As that is a yellow flag. Got someone round. I think that is Nerf Pack in the back there. That's his Nerf Pack. Wookie's still out in front as we're starting sector 2. Anyone close? Harold's very close to the back of Glock. No DRS for the opening 2 laps though. Front 3 all where they started. Rapid hunting down the slipstream of Wookie there. Everyone just about making it through unscathed. That is a very closely bunched up field. Oh, as Richie going, oh that is Kane going wide on the final corner. That'll be a track limit warning for Kane. Oliver Richie down 2 places. Last year's champion, well this year's current running champion, down in P18 after a terrible qualifying. Harold very consistent at the moment, putting pressure on Glock out in front. Always I say that, Harold goes off track. Who's that trying to make the move? Max? No. Kane's going wide once again there. Oh, a bit of a bang up the arse from Nerf Pack. Kane got a bit of damage. Oh, that is not good at all. Kane needs to let Nerf Pack through there. Can't hold him up like that. After a terrible start, and he's losing a front end plate for his troubles as well. Mechanical's made a move on Rapid out in front. Took that P2. As Mechanical sets the fastest lap. Just Dave were going at it a bit further back. Just Dave is thinking about it as Kane does now pick that 3-second time penalty up. These two still where they started. Oh, and Airways as well picking up a time penalty. 12 lap sprint race this evening. As Mechanical trying to close that gap, he is closing with DRS. Oh, as Wookie goes off, goes a bit deep, that's going to allow going side by side. Very tight bit of the track. Mechanical just about backs out, but tries sending it up the inside. Big contact from Mechanical. It's Wookie, that is Mechanical's race ruin there. He's facing sideways. That is terrible from Mechanical. And look it. Oh, who is that in the background? Nope. Our big gainer at the moment is Max Mario. He started last up into P12. Everybody else only a couple of places gained and lost. Mechanical down 15 in P18 after that coming together with Wookie there. Big DRS train all the way down to P8. any mistake now. Lucky did very well to keep his car on the racetrack. As I say that, Max Mario having a cracking race, picks himself a time penalty up. Glock thought about sending it on Luke. Lucky just managing the pace nicely for the moment. He knew he had the edge on Rapid in the opening stages. It was mechanical applying the pressure, but he's down in P18. No pressure being applied from down there, so it's all up to Rapid now. Lucky keep his cool. Rapid thinks about the outside, was never, and goes off track as well. That is going to allow Luke to get through on the inside. Squeeze to the wall is Luke. Did well to avoid it as Glock going heavy on the rear tyres there, nearly sliding out. Glock's tyres starting to feel it a bit as Harold putting a bit of pressure on him. A bit further back, we're on just Dave. He'll want to get past Dave. Top 8 positions, scoring the sprint, if I'm correct. Sure, it's the top 8. No, it is top 10, my apologies. Top 10 scoring for the sprint. Should really know that, man. Let's have a look how the Super Soft Winners are getting on. Airways at the back. Airways had a moment. He wasn't at the back. First race of the season, I think, for Airways. Isn't going as planned. So Super Soft Runners still there or thereabouts, not made the inroads they probably would have expected. As they're trying to go chip the next one to pick a time penalty up. Oh, Rapid's close. Oh, Luke's taking Rapid. Rapid had a terrible exit out of turn 2. He must have. He was almost touching Wookie and then losing the position to Luke. So now it's Luke's turn to put Wookie under some pressure. Lap 5 of 12. Closed down to a 10th and a half with the aid of DRS. Get that off the screen, sorry lads. Captain Nibs and Chip Hazard swapping places. Chip's got his teammate Richie behind. Both out the points at the moment, so free to race. Front pack is so tightly bunched up at the moment. Any mistake out of these top 5-6 drivers, as we found with Cole, can have catastrophic consequences. He's got a yellow flag. Max is dropping down the order. Max had a big off, he has gone too deep into that braking zone. I've done that a couple of times in the F1. We're still unable to make the move on Dave. I think he'll be getting quite frustrated, sat behind now. Is Luke going to try and make the move around the outside? This is where Cole tried it. It's just tucks back in. Oh, that's a big lock up by Glock, nearly going into the back of Rapid. And side by side is Harold and Fake Scouts up. Able to take a lot of curb in these F2 cars. Is Luke. Rapid defending from Glock. Luke looks a bit too far behind, even though he's got DRS to make an overtake. As that is Rick and were battling out the last couple of point scoring places. going to try up the inside. No, he isn't. It does make it past as Max is out into the barriers by the looks of that. His car's up at the side there. Luke not close enough at the end of that straight to try and send a move on Wookie. 5 laps in after this to go. Wookie managing very nicely indeed. Is Luke up the inside? He is to try and go side by side. They do go side by side. Wookie takes the inside line, goes slightly deep. Is Luke going to have him on the exit? He's nearly. Great side by side action by the front running pair. Oh, Luke's going to have the inside line, backs out of it. Wookie takes the lead once again. This is allowing Rapid, Glock, Harold, Fake Scouts all to catch up here. These two battling. Everyone's starting to hold each other up at the moment. Wookie putting his car in the perfect place for the defence there. Got Rick and just Dave. Rick got passed by Were once again, and now he's lost a place to Dave. Oh, that's someone sideways. Rapid is sideways. Has he made contact with anyone? I ate it half. Now Glock has up into P3. He's 1.9 seconds behind though. Did he have a coming together with Glock? Luke still unable to make the pass. Oh, that was a big chunk of curb taken by Luke. Felt confident to ride it that far. He's going to send it up the inside once again. Wookie tries to go defensive, but knows he'll be fighting a losing battle there. That is Luke up into P1. Already a 4/10 gap. Stretching out now. Glock pulled them in half a second. He's only 1.3 behind now. As Luke, nice move after a couple of laps of trying. Great defensive drive from Wookie. Luke made the move and made it stick. Takes the lead on lap 8. Luke really making up for his absence last week. The second half of the top 10 still fighting hard as we're like 3/4 of the way into this race. What is that? Harold trying to that is Rick and Were going at it, going side by side through the last sector as Fake Scouser picks up a time penalty. That's just thrown him all the way down to P9. Side by side once again. Were makes the move this time. Rick's going to still try and fight this. Luke after starting 5th. Up into P1. Wookie's down 1 in P2. Glock's up 1 in P3. Harold's up 3. Fake Scouts up 1. Were's up 1. Rick. That's telling me 2 different things there. He's definitely up. Had a bit of a poor qualifying, I'm sure. Biggest gainer though is Harvey and Richie. No, it is Harvey. Up 7 positions. Biggest losers, Mechanical and Rapid down 11 and 13 positions. Rick now trying to get back past Were. Did it once. Were managed to get back through. Starts all over again for Rick. No one close enough to make a move at the moment. Got teammates Richie and Chip still side by side in this race. Captain Nib's next one to pick a time penalty up. Richie has made it through on Chip there. Sends it up the inside of Harvey. Ooh, going too wide through turn 1, 2. Great for no contact there. Richie does make that move sick. Great driving from the pair of them. Richie and Harvey there. Nice space being left. As Claymore is out of the race. Super Softs really not work for him tonight. As Harvey trying to make it back past Richie as we go side by side. I thought we wouldn't see much overtaking here, but seeing great side by side action. Oh, Chip has a bit of a bad exit there. It's going to put Captain Nibs all over his gearbox. As Richie does have the inside line, just tucks back in though. This is for the final point scoring position. Quite a few penalties for a street circuit. Most of it is barriers. Lads finding the extremities of the track which don't have the barriers right next to it. Not many places. Richie looks punchy behind Harvey with DRS. Has to go. Not much room left by Richie. Does make that move though. Chip now all over the gearbox of Harvey. Glock is pulling in Wookie for that P2 spot. Looks it's only 6.5 tenths in front. Took the lead 3 laps to go. He's not pulling away like we'd expect him to. Got a three-way battle with Rick and Harold. Harold still on them super soft tyres, holding up nicely in P5. He gets a bit of a tap from Rick behind. They look like teammates with the orange cars, but they're not. Rick's teammate, Harold's teammate, sorry, is. Anyway, it's not there. Odd sport F2 with the team choices and livery choices. Quite hard to keep a track of, really. As Glock is pulling in Wookie now as we're just about to start the final lap. It crosses the line with 6 tenths in hand to Wookie. Glock just jinked to the inside. Oh, big touch from Glock on Wookie there as Wookie picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's just knocked him right out of the podium places at this moment in time. Harold making them super softs last at least for the full 12 laps. Rick does finally make the move on Harold. Just needs to nurse them tyres home for a P6. Only two more overtaking opportunities after this. Big battle on track, but the penalties have more or less secured Glock's P2. Luke looks like he's about to take another sprint race win here in CDR. He's got another chicane to navigate, and the final corner. Up for positions to take what looks to be the checkered flag. Round the final corners they come. Luke takes P1 in the sprint here this evening. Singapore. Glock takes the second step. Rick takes the third spot after Wookie's 3-second time penalty is added. Drops him down to P4, unfortunately, after a cracking race from Wookie. Unfortunate with the late time penalty, but the guys who keep it on the track make up for it in the podium places. Harold, the top runner on the Super Softs, up 2 places. We're up 2. King Lutman up 6 to make it into P7. Great race from Lutman there. Didn't see too much of him though, but up 6 places. Just Dave where he started. Fates Gauss's down 2. Rounding out the top 10 is Richie. Harvey managed to get through on chip, so did Mechanical after that moment with Wookie. Pack up to P15, P14 after that spin as well. That's 3 different podium sitters for the sprint race this week. Luke, Rick and Glock. Rick was on P2 again. Adding to his championship lead from Nat in that race. Luke though, after missing a week, puts the points on the board there, finishing P1. 2 DNS with Clay and Max. So them 3, Wookie dropping down to P4, Harold P5. Were just dropped a few points to Rick there. King Lutman, great race. Fates Gauss, another top race, finishing in the points. Just Dave as well, and Richie making up places to grab his final point. Try and strengthen his chances of retaining the title. So, rain for the feature race now. This shakes things up. We know we've had quite a few wet races this season. Quite a few guys do strengthen in the wet. See if they can make a few upsets up there. Doesn't look too hard. The rain just the odd trickle as Mechanical leaves the session. Does he need another invite? 1 second. Can't seem to send you another invite, mate. His laptop gone off again. Let me try and get you back, mate. One sec. It's not letting me invite you, saying you're already in. Oh, there you go. Sent you that, mate. Try and get yourself back in ASAP. Still not coming up as live on my fucking YouTube. Odd. Alright, it's on the laptop. Let me try my phone. Yep, you are back, mechanical. Don't you worry about that, mate. So, let's see, is the rain forecast full race, or are we going to have interchangeable conditions here? I hope so. It makes for a fun crossover time. See how the race pans out. There we go. Let me get this all back up. Everyone on the wet tyres, of course. Don't need that. We've got it out. Formation lap underway. Rain not too bad, track doesn't look too wet at this moment in time. Is it going to ease off, or are we going to have a bit heavier? Is it just going to stay like this? We'll find out as the race progresses. This front pack is very, very tight together with pace-wise, so I reckon we've got a fun feature on our hands here, boys. Luke will be going for the championship. We know he's got the pace. Word definitely will be going for the championship. Rick is leading the championship. Just Dave also pulling himself up 7 places in the championship last week with his absolutely fantastic point scoring haul for him. That pulls him up to P7. P14 going into Brazil last week, comes out of it P7 and starting P2 this evening. Going the right way is Just Dave. Harold as well, Mr. Consistent at the moment. He's P4 in the championship, if memory serves me correct. Fate Scouts as well, we know he's got pace. Luke, championship contender. We know that Klopp's got pace after his wins. Mechanical hunting down the win in the sprint until that unfortunate incident. No, Rapid and Wookie have also got the pace. Is this rain going to throw us a few curveballs? Let's find out. Hopefully it wasn't like that for the lads. Lights out and away we go for the feature race here in Singapore, as Harold has made a cracking start. He's going to try up the inside of Dave, nearly makes the move. Where has to go off track slightly, got a big concertina there. His car's ghosted in the middle. That was Glock losing a couple of places. We're also swapping places with Luke. Luke's up 1. He's already overtaken Fate Scouser as Max is at the back. Oh, that is Captain. That is not Captain Nibs. That is Nerf Pack losing his front wing. Chip Hazard also getting collected in that. There's a big accident further back in the pack. That's Clay, sorry, not Nerf Pack. He's off into the escape road. Rick's already pulled a 1.5 second lead out to Dave. Front pack still very tight together. Other than that gap out in front. Got put in. Scouser under big pressure. Teammates in mechanical there. Sorry, not Scouser. He does make the move. It's a drag race down to the next braking zone. Mechanical has got the inside line. Is Glock going to try and hang it round the outside? He is. Is Mechanical going to leave him the room? Doesn't. Just about. Did well to keep it out the wall. That's put Glock on the back foot there. Rapid now right on his tail. Thinks about sending up the inside. Track doesn't look too wet as we've got someone boxing Mechanicals into the pits. That is a shame for Mechanical. Oh, that is Captain Nibs going off on the straight there. That looked like a Lance Stroll crash from a few years ago. As Rich is also out of the race as well. Rick now 2 seconds, 2.1 out in front to Dave. There's Clay and Mechanical still in the pits. Lutman putting Wookie under a bit of pressure. Only a few attempts behind as we start the technical sector 2. Lutman taking a tighter line through that corner, moving to the left, trying to kill the tyres possibly. Oh, as Lucky goes slightly deep, let's put Lucky on the attack. Lutman on the attack on Wookie. It does look a bit it's a bit greasy out there, to be honest now. So not as much water being moved off the track with these cars, so dry line will take longer to appear. Further back we've got Kane and Max, as Max is into the barriers now. A couple of incidents at this opening couple of laps, no safety cars for the time being though, as Max struggling there to get his car out. 2.5 second lead out for Rick now. Luke and Were battling away for P4. It's just Dave on lap 3 picks up a time penalty. That's not good for Dave, as Luckman now picks up a penalty as well. DNF in Nibs and Max as well. It's not taking any prisoners, Singapore tonight. No one close enough to make the move at the moment. Chip making an overtake on Harvey. He's up into P13. Let's watch this battle. Does Harvey battle it back against Chip? Chip goes wide. No overtaking point for a couple of corners. As he's getting a lot closer to Nerf Pack than Harvey is getting to Chip. Chip finding some pace on these wet tyres. Chip goes to the outside. Nerf Pack very cautious there, leaves the room. chipped out, does not make the move. Looked like he was in front for a second there. Oh, big contact again. Come on, lads. A bit of a slide. Two battling hard though. Oh, he nearly takes his teammate out. These two are still going at it, coming to turn one. Harvey, another DNF. Chip does make that move finally stick on Nerf Pack. Needs to, it's got half a second to Kane out in front. 4.5 seconds is the lead from Rick. Absolute league of his own this evening in the wet air. Fully deserved championship leader this season. Just finding grip. Nobody else seems to come. Everyone just following in situ for the time being. Everyone just settled down slightly. A couple of gaps a bit further back. Got Wookie and Luckman second and half between. And then Kane 7 seconds back. Chip putting Kane under big pressure, takes tighter line on the exit. Is he going to try around the outside once again, as he did on Nerf Pack the previous lap? Kane shuts the door on that one. Kane a bit of slide on the exit. Chip, good traction out of that corner. Chip missing an end plate there as well. Is that going to make him faster, or is it going to slow him down in the wet air? Two Red Bull livery cars, different teams of course. Oh, look like Chip tapped the wall there on the exit. He's got no front wing to break on that side, as that is Kane going very deep on the final corner. That's going to allow Chip to take the inside line up into turn one. Makes that move stick. Does Chip, and he's up into P12. He's got an 8.3 second gap to Airways in front. Let's have a look a bit closer. Glock is going side by side with CDR. Luke goes up the inside. Going side by side again. That is Rapid trying to take Fake Scouser's position as well. Great battle by these four. Got Wookie at the back of this as well. Just under 2 seconds separating 5th all the way down to P9. Harold in a bit of no man's land there. Oh no, he's not. That's his. No, thought he had a 1.5 second gap. No, he doesn't. He is under pressure from. He's putting pressure on just Dave for P2. Dave is carrying that time penalty. Just the three lads with the penalties at the moment. That's just 3 seconds apiece for Nerf Pack, Lookman and Dave. Biggest winners and losers. Chip and Kane up 6. Cole down 7 places. As Kane picks up a time penalty. Dirty air doesn't seem to be affecting these cars too much. The drivers would probably tell me a completely different story, but from the offboard they look like it's mechanical now, as that his internet gone off again as he ghosted. Yes, let me try and get you back in, mate. Give it a minute. It's not letting me send any invites at the moment. Sorry, mate. That's not what we like to see. Guys disconnecting mid-race. Let us know if I think you can see still on the stream. Let me know if you want another invite in the Discord, mate. Rapid is all over the back of Fate Scouser, just under 3.5 tenths. That's dropped. Mechanical is back in. You're not last, mate. So, and every position does score points, so it is worth still joining for the just for the handful of points. Every point is worth something in this league with how tight it is at the moment. Harold still hunting down that P2 from Dave. Rain still sticking about. Ooh, big snap for Harold there on the exit of the final corner. Is it time to get another set of tyres on? Probably want to make it half distance on them, of course. Another lap or two. Dave having a bit of a slide on the exit, as Rick still motoring out in front, nearly 8 seconds lead there for Rick. Since turn 1, he has had absolutely no battle whatsoever for that lead. He's very close to the barrier there, nearly losing the front wing. That would be a game changer. Harold still can't make it past Dave. And then 5 is just spread out now. Luke can drop 5, block 5, nearly a second and a half. He's Rapid that little bit closer now to Scouser to try and send. And he's also missing an end plate is Rapid. He's not close enough as that is. That was Luke having a big slide. No one close enough, just a car. They need one more car length in front to make the move. Chip Airways is into the pits for a new set of tyres. I think Nerf Pack's already pitted. Let's have a look at the stops. Airways, Mechanical, Nerf Pack and Clay all have pitted. Bottom 4 there. First ones to make the stops. There's Harold. I don't know why I've gone that way. Harold is a lot closer now to just Dave. Just in this section where he seems to be getting close, where the overtake isn't really on, but where it counts. Just Dave has the pace over Harold by the looks of things. Kane picks up a time penalty as well. When are the front runners going to decide to get rid of them tyres? Just Dave defending brilliantly from Harold. Rapid's still stuck behind Fate Scouser. A couple of gaps further back now. Field spread. People starting to go into the pits. After a DNF in the sprint, Clay having a terrible feature race as well. Still plenty of laps to go. As Glock, Luke, Fate Scouser and Mucky all pit. The front runners stay out. Top 5 stay out. Bottom 5 of the top 10 decide to call it quits and get a new set of boots on. And we're going to see a few pit stops from the front runners at the end of this lap. He's wrong corner there. Thought he was coming round the last one. He's not. He's still going at it. Harold will be getting frustrated behind Dave. He has got that time penalty, but he wants to make the move on track, try and close that absolutely massive gap of 11.1 seconds to Rick out in front. I'm going to see pit stop from Rick. How's he going to stay out for another lap? Still looks don't look too bad for Rick there. He's deciding to stay out. Are these two going to decide to follow him, or is Harold going to try and do whatever the other one doesn't? He is doing the opposite of Just Dave. Harold decides to stay out, Just Dave into the pits, everyone else whirs into the box, Rapids into the pits. Harold needs one of the quickest in laps he's possibly got now to try and overcut Dave. Rick stayed out, 11 second buffer's got the time in hand to let the guys pit and see what he wants to do after that. I think the front two are the only ones to not pit. Yeah, they are. Everyone else has made their compulsory pit stop. Everyone's just jumbling about at the moment, see where everyone comes out. So Glock is still in front of Luke. Fake Scouser just behind in P5. Tell you what, it's not bad going from the people that have boxed. Luke, Fake Scouser, Just Dave. That's not bad going at all. Bit of the field spread out them out there with the not losing so many positions, but that's not bad going at all. So this is battle for position with Wookie, Were and Airways. Airways after a poor sprint race, finding his groove in the wet feature. Rick staying out for another lap. See if Harold decides to pit. Harold is now getting rid of them used tyres. Let's see if he makes it out in front of Just Dave, who is battling away down in P6 as he's coming to the final chicane. Rick's just coming out of the pits. This might have worked. Harold's just coming out of the pits. That might have worked wonders for Harold there. We'll find out in a moment as Glock goes through, setting the fastest lap. Just Dave goes through. Let's have a look. It is going to be tight on pit exit. There's Dave just in front. He knows he's the guy to get. Dave will have the warmer tyres. Harold is where he was before the pit stops, just behind Dave. That nearly paid off. A couple of attempts in that as he came out the pits there. They were nearly side by side on the pit exit. Good battle for the bottom places, the top 10 here. Was putting Wookie under a bit of pressure. Harold still trying to put Dave under pressure. got a bit deep on the exit. Oh, he nearly hits the wall there as well. Harold needs to just get them tyres working first before he tries and makes a charge on Dave, or else he'll be finishing a lot lower down than P6. Now Rick, your race leader, pitting 12 laps out of the set of wet tyres for Rick. Not bad going at all, that, with a 32-second gap. That should be a free pit stop. That is a free pit stop for Rick. Pits in P1, comes out. Let's have a look at the gap to Glock as he comes round the main straight. 4.7 seconds is the lead now. Gone down to 3. Fake Scouser after pitting a lap or two early has made it up, so has Luke. Glock as well. Just Dave and Harold have come down a couple of places after staying out battling. It's cost them 3 or 4 places apiece, that. He's trying to make the move on Wookie this time. Wookie goes defensive, shuts the door. No move this time around. As we've got Luckman and Airways side by side, as I say, that Luckman does make it through. He's missing an end plate. Quite a few running damage. Don't think it affects these Formula 2 cars just as much as the F1 in this game. Is it raining still? That rain is getting very light. No, it isn't. Still looks... No, still raining. Can't really see it from the off-board. So everyone has pitted. Glock is hunting down Rick. 3 seconds now. But, Rick had a massive gap of nearly 12 seconds. That's dropped down. Now he's got a different challenger behind in Glock, who we know has got pace. CDR Luke in P3 after the win in the sprint. Still adding to his points tally is Luke, catching back up. He's got his challengers in Were, Richie. It's just Rick out in front at the moment, who is stretching his lead in this championship. Been to quite a lot of different sorts of tracks, and Rick seems to have just overall pace at this moment in time. Gets on very well with these F2 cars. It's pulled out another 1.2 second lead to Glock. Glock was on the charge for a couple of laps, but it's just kind of fizzled out as he gets a big slide out of that corner. Rapid was thinking about making the move on Nat. Just thinks otherwise. Harold's just dropped back from the back of Just Dave, now 1.7 seconds. Rick with the new fastest lap at a 150.12. Pitting 3 laps later, he's going to have such better tyres compared to everybody else. Rapid's just that bit closer, but not close enough. That's been the story of this sprint race, the feature race. We had so much side-by-side action, but that's not come over to the feature. Rain's probably had a part to play with that. I was going to say it never rains in Singapore, but that famous race with both Ferraris and Max Verstappen all going off and out the race at turn 1. So there has been rain in Singapore. Oh, big clatter on the wall for Rapid. Does keep his wing intact though. Nearly pushes Were through the 90-degree corner there. Glock in no man's land at the moment in P2. It's not a bad place to be, that. Would like to be closer than 5.5 seconds to Rick, I'd imagine, but with a 7-second gap to Luckman behind, with Luke behind. Just needs to keep it on the racetrack. Luke's got a 1.2 second gap to Scouser, then it's a couple of midfield runners trying to claw the way back up. Dave is the top one runner with a time penalty that will throw him down to around P10. As I say, that Rapid now picks up one as well, so he might get P9 as Chip's 4 seconds behind Luckman, so he won't gain a place there. We'll see the checkered flag. 2 laps to go after this. Rick still hasn't put a foot wrong. Harold's just pulling just Dave back in now. He's just over half a second. It was 1.7. Finally made the move on Rapid, sends it up the inside. Nice move from Work. Is Rapid going to try and fight this? I just think otherwise a bit too far behind. Harold's that much closer to Dave. Is he going to get him into this braking zone? He's been stuck behind him for 15 laps. He'll want to get this move done at some point today. He's running out of time. These two still battling. Because I think Wookie clattered the wall there on the exit. Rapid tries to switch back on. Work gets the move done. Now we're trying to go too wide through the final corner. Word just around, sticks it round the outside. Rapid thought about the inside just to try and put Were off there. Didn't work. Were still in P8. Still raining. Very light rain this evening, but it's been about all race, so no dry tyres to be used this evening. Fate Scouser is closing in on Luke. He is carrying that time penalty, of course. Rapid's trying to get his P8 back off Were still. Nice battle, these two, for quite a bit of the race. as word goes off there, doesn't pick up a time penalty. Definitely could have been a warning. As Rick now starts the final lap of this feature race. Gap of 8.3 seconds now. Glock in P2 has got a 10-second gap to Luke behind him. Luke's been put under quite a bit of pressure from Fates, Gallser and Harold. They've not let him go. Luke's known he's been in the race tonight. Harold does make the move on Fates Gallser. As Luke had a big slide there, it's going to make Harold's eyes light up, but he is carrying that time penalty, so won't really make much of a difference. 9-second gap now out in front for our race leader Rick. Been put under no pressure whatsoever this evening. Different class entirely to the rest of the field. Fully deserved race win, I think, coming for Rick. From P1, first into the first corner, and then from there led the race from start to finish. Rick does take Singapore race win. Glock's going to come and take P2. Luke still battling hard with Harvey to try and keep hold of that P3 spot. Comes into the final corner. Does keep Harold off, taking P3. Harold takes P4. Wookie jumping up 2 places with the time penalties. Fates Gallser dropping down to P6. Word P7. Rapid P8. Just Dave dropping down to P9. Time penalties hurt Dave there. He had a cracking race. Lutman rounds out the top 10. Every position does score. So Chip will be getting points, so will Kane, Nerf Pack, Mechanical, Airways, and terrible day for Clay. Down at the back, not used to seeing Clay down there. Not liking that. He's gone on a set of softs. That's probably why he's not liking it. Run out of tyres possibly. Just wanted to finish the race. Airways first race of the season, will be picking up a couple of points. As Clay just comes around the final corner, just about sideways nearly, finishes the feature race for CDR's round 5. Go podiums for the lads. Final race results there. Rick taking P1. Glock, the reserve this evening, takes P2. CDR Luke rounds out the podium places in P3. Harold finishes where he started in P4. Wookie's up 5 into P5. Fates Gallser's down 1 in P6. Where is down 4 into P7, Rapids up 1 into P8, Just Dave down 7 in P9 unfortunately, and top 10, Lutman, he's up 3. Chip Hazard up 7 places, not a bad race from Chip. Nerf Pack's down 1, Mechanical's down after that bit of a spin. Kane's up 5. Great race from Kane. Airways takes 15th on his first race this season. Clay, bit of a disaster from Clay. Harvey, Captain Nibs, Max and Richie all DNFs. Let's get the boys into a bit of a chat and then we'll wrap it up there. See if the lads want to come and speak to us. Luke, straight in. You alright, Luke? How's it going, mate? Yeah, not too bad, mate, not too bad. I think it might just be me and you tonight, mate, because I know that Rick doesn't have a mic and Glock also no mic. Oh, no, Rick's here, maybe not.
Fuck me, so now he even follows me into these.
You what, mate?
He follows me into these as well. Get away from him.
Well, we'll start with you, Rick. What a race in the wet there. That is some serious pace, mate. Absolutely cracking pace.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. Just, I felt really good in the car in dry and wet conditions, so yeah.
Had you done much practice in the wet in these cars, or is that just with feel? No, no.
Literally the only wet practice I did in these cars on this track was like half an hour before I joined the lobby, so I quickly managed to get an okay wet setup. So yeah.
No, that setup seemed to pay off, mate. Because after turn 1, you was absolutely gone, as no one had much of a chance.
Yeah, I was a bit scared that Glock gained loads of time with the undercut.
Yeah, he did.
And at that point, he was like 2.9 seconds behind me, and he basically had the same pace as me, but after a few laps I did manage to get back into a rhythm and just pull away, so that was a bit a bit scary, but yeah, I mean, I managed to pull away and just control the pace again, so
nah, can't complain, mate. Well, quite a long first stint. I think it was 12 laps. Everyone decided to box around lap 10, so well, it might have been 13 for you, so a lot fresher tyres towards the end.
Yeah, I know the tire temperatures on the rears were getting very high, but I was managing it. So the point where everyone behind me pitted, my tires was like 71% rear right, I think. And I was like, yeah, okay, there's no way I'm getting to the end, so I have to pit. And I couldn't have left it a lap later, I think.
No, that's puncher time, that, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Nah, well done, mate. Well done. Absolutely cracking race there. You just extended your lead in the championship with that and all that, so...
Yeah, also a positive.
So, Luke, 2 podiums tonight, a race win in the sprint, P2 in the feature race after missing last week. That's a great way to come back and get another point scoring week under your belt.
Yeah, it's yeah, you're right. It's nice. I'll be positive. I'll take positives out of this.
You can't take negatives out of a P1 and a P2, lad.
Yeah, you can. There's a P2 in there. No,
I think you did.
I don't have time to practice at all. Like Rick saying he's got 30 minutes before the race. I think I had 30 minutes in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's hard work sometimes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's difficult to put some time into it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. The undercut really worked for me and Glock. We jumped like 4 cars on the next lap, and they couldn't catch us anymore. So
Yeah, Harold, Dave, they were having they was battling, and then they pitted. You pitted early, and then they dropped well down the order.
Yeah,
So now
them
you got
and Nat, I think, as well, was in that pack.
yeah.
When I pitted, I was P7, Block was P6, I think, and then obviously we finished on the podium. So yeah, it was a good
Uh,
race. I wasn't expecting anything exciting out of it, to be fair, after being away for a week and it being a wet one as well. But like I said, I'll take positives out of it. Got the win, got the podium and a feature as well. Not much more I can do when you've got monsters like Rick
yeah, you
crashing the whole
needed
fucking
another
tournament.
engine.
So yeah, it's
Now
one of them.
the sprint race was so much like it was fun compared to that. That was it. It looked quite boring to race in that feature race, man. Quite a few gaps everywhere. But the sprint race, Jesus, side by side action there was.
Yeah, me
If you
and
watch
Wookie
it
had a
back, you'll
side
see
by.
it because it was one to
Not
watch
sure if
that
you
sprint
caught
race.
mine and Wookie's in the sprint, but we went side by side through end of sector one, most of the sector two.
I think I
Um,
did. I haven't watched back because there's quite a bit in it. Like yeah, it was.
it
It was one
was
of the funniest races I've watched in a while. That, and then I was expecting it to come into the feature race, and it just didn't edge it. So anyway, where we're next week? That's the question.
Las Vegas, I think, from memory. Yeah, Las
Yeah, it is
Vegas.
Vegas. So we'll see what
Well,
Vegas brings, boys.
we
See,
shouldn't have rain over there.
shouldn't no.
I hope not. Oh, jeez. There's no grip
Right?
as it is.
No, there isn't.
My tire temperature was at 105 degrees at the end of this race. The wet one. Yeah.
Jesus, mine 94, but still.
And Jeff kept telling me to find um cool them down by going into a puddle, but the track was dry. Pretty much like there was no puddles anywhere. I was
No, it
driving off the
wasn't.
race and like most of it, and it was just keep going up and up and up. My tire wear on the end was like 80%. Not nice, not fun.
Clay ended up on the soft somehow. I think he ran out of tyres at the end, bless him.
Yeah, so me, Clay, and Nerf were in party, and Nerf just said, I'm just gonna try something different. And we went on softs, and for like 5 laps, he was saying that they were exactly the same, maybe a little bit faster. And then Clay went on softs just to test it out. And then next thing we heard was Nerf just saying how it all just went off. I had 60 degrees on them, and it was sliding everywhere. And I was like, yeah, because it's raining, mate.
Do you know what? It wasn't clear. It was raining. Every so often, I had to keep checking because it was that light. It didn't. It looked like it stops halfway through. So I was thinking, oh, pit stops, and then nah, it just kept on spitting.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, look, thanks for commentating, and well done on another win, Rick. Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well done, lads.
Right, see you later. Good
See you
night.
later, mate. See you in a bit. So that is round 5 of CDR's F2 all wrapped up there. Rick taking P1, Luke double podium, P1 in the took the race win in the sprint, and P2 in the feature. So join us Friday for the F1 side of CDR. It's 8:30 in Vegas. No, it's not. We're in Singapore. I've not been there yet. Yeah, so same time next week for the F2. We'll see you all again soon.